Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is Daud Rahman and today we have a very important lesson. It's gonna be about types of borrowing. Types of borrowing. Now, there are 5 types of borrowing and I'll explain them to you down below. Number 1, hire purchase. Hire purchase. So what is this? So hire purchase is when you, as an individual, agree with a supplier that you can borrow an asset for a set period of time. For example, you may ask the supplier, can I borrow a car, for example? So a car will help transport goods from one place to another and it will help decrease transport costs because you're delivering from one place to another in a shorter span of time. So an agreement between you and the supplier that your business can borrow an asset, for example a car, for a fixed time period. Daniel, I have a video, fixed time period. So, an agreement between you and the supplier that your business can borrow an asset for a fixed time period. However, this has advantages. You must pay back in regular installments. You must pay back in regular installments each month. Or they'll take the asset away. Or asset will be taken away. Obviously. So what that means is, so you borrowed the asset, both you and the supplier, you've agreed that, okay, with a contract, okay, you borrowed the asset for the business. However, every month, let's say from January to December, you must pay back a fixed sum to the suppliers. If you can't do that, however, you'll have to give back the asset, and that can really impact on how your business runs, like how much stock you can deliver, how much will be given from one area to another, like how many stock can be imported. So that's hire purchase. 2, overdraft. So an overdraft is when you can borrow more than the available cash balance. So whatever cash balance is available in your bank, you can borrow a larger sum. So when you can borrow more cash than amount available. In simple terms, it will be amount available. When you can borrow more cash than the amount available, that's the simple terms. The problem with an overdraft is that the interest rate is so high. When you borrow it, the amount of interest you have to pay back is really high. So you need to be careful as this is a source of borrowing, because you may regret it when you borrow it, but not in all circumstances. It'll be useful in an emergency. So when you need a large sum of money in a short span of time, for example, you need to pay this off very quickly, for example, your rent or your bills, anything, or maybe a holiday, maybe when you have to pay for things, you need to go on holiday, borrowing an overdraft as a source, using an overdraft as a source of finance is very useful. Because that'll give you quick sums of money, give you really quickly. So large sums will be in your bank account in this flash. So we can borrow more than the available balance. 3, credit card. Now, this is very different from a debit card, because a credit card is a bank's card. It's not your own card like a debit card, because a debit card belongs to you as a card holder, A credit card is when a bank, financial institution issues you the card so you can spend it on specific things. So a financial institution, for example a bank, lends you this card so you can use it, so you can spend on goods and services. However, there is a limit to how much you can spend. You are allowed to spend. So there's a limit. So a credit card you can spend as much as you want. However, there's a limit on how much you can spend. So that limit will be issued by the bank. You could choose the limit. You could choose how much you can spend yourself. However, if you spend over the limit, you'll be charged interest, and that interest can be high depending on how much you spend above the limit. If you can't pay the interest, you're likely to go into debt. So yes, that's a credit card. There's two more for us to go through. The fourth one is a mortgage. So that is a loan borrowed to buy a property. And is paid back after 25 years. Paid back after 25 years. So it's when you borrow a loan to buy a property, buy a house, simple, and you pay the loan back after 25 years. So after 25 years of using the house, borrowing the house, or everything, you have to give the house back to the insurance provider. However, if you're lucky, you may be able to keep it for 30 years, so 5 year extra time. So 5 years, 5 year extra length. Duration. So yeah, that's a mortgage. Disadvantage of a mortgage is it's costly. It's not easy to borrow a loan from a bank and buy a property, because you need to convince the bank that you're going to be responsible and that you'll use the loan wisely. Like, if you're going to tell them, I'm going to use a loan, what are you going to use it for? If you tell them you're going to buy a house and you actually buy the house, that convinces the bank, okay, if he's told us that, okay, he's going to use a loan to buy a house, and he's shown us proof that he's bought the house, so they're more likely to let you keep borrowing. So yeah, because they know you're not going to waste it. They know you're not going to waste it. I'll be able to do 5 here. 5. Mortgage. Personal loan. Your own loan which you borrow. So it basically it's your own loan, but you borrowed it from a bank, but you must use the loan for specific purposes, and you must pay back in fixed interest. So, and must be used for specific purposes. You must use it for a specific purpose, like for example buying groceries, but you must pay back in fixed interest. So fixed interest means the interest charged every month in which you have to pay back stays the same. It doesn't change regardless of any factors. It will stay the same. So for example, groceries, if you're going to buy groceries, you have to buy groceries. You must use it for a specific purpose, as I said. So that's our type of borrowing. If you like my video, please share, subscribe, like, and comment and share it with your family members. So please help promote my YouTube channel. I'll be really grateful for that. Good luck and peace out.